May 2020, planetary transits for Capricorn and Capricorn rising. This is an equal house chart set up for 0 degrees Capricorn on the ascendant, Eastern Daylight Time, New York. We begin May 1st, 2020, with 2 planets in Capricorn in the first house sector, Jupiter at 26 degrees of Capricorn and Pluto at 24 degrees of Capricorn, retrograde. The Sun is placed in the 5th house at 11 degrees of Taurus, along with the planet Uranus at 6 degrees, and the planet Mercury also at 6 degrees. Saturn is in Aquarius in the 2nd house at 1 degree, along with the planet Mars at 21 degrees Aquarius. Venus is placed at 19 degrees of Gemini in the 6th house sector. Neptune is at 20 degrees of Pisces in the 3rd house, and the Moon is in Leo at 15 degrees in the 8th. Overview. December 22nd through December 31st birth dates, Sun in Capricorn 0 to 9 degrees. December 28th through December 31st birthdays have transiting Uranus trine the Sun all of 2020. This is an exciting, stimulating energy, bringing relationships with highly intellectual people who increase your knowledge and expand your outlook. You may experience instant friendship this year or a new love interest that makes you come alive. Under Uranus energy, life is never boring. January 1st through January 10th birth dates, Sun in Capricorn at 10 degrees to 19 degrees. For January 1st and 2nd birthdays, transiting Uranus and Taurus will trine your Sun. Also, read the above description. In 2020, Neptune will square the sidereal Sun of January 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th birthdays, a deeply romantic and spiritual vibration. It is also indicative of ego defeats, especially career-related, or the loss of a significant male figure in your life. As with all major transits, what you experience depends upon how Neptune is configured in your birth chart with the natal Sun. In general, it brings a significant relationship with a Neptune type, someone with a prominent Neptune in their birth charts or the sign Pisces prominent. This energy is deeply emotional and heartfelt and potentially very creative. It is also profoundly spiritual and enhances whatever psychic aptitude may be present. On another level, Neptune rules infectious diseases. Do not become lax and forget to disinfect yourself and your environment. Also, on the subject of health, allergy flare-ups are common under Neptune transits. Specifically, a sudden allergic reaction to foods, additives, or chemical products that in the past never bothered you. The good news is that the allergic reaction is temporary, not permanent, meaning once Neptune passes out of influence, you can reintroduce the food or additive into your diet with no reaction. And I've gone through this at least half a dozen times in the course of my life, and it's always been under a Neptune energy. And I can tell you, as soon as the planetary energy moved out of orb, I could reintroduce the food, and it had no negative impact whatsoever. In other words, everything went right back to normal. On the subject of drawing in a Neptune type in a relationship under a Neptune energy, you might want to check out my video called For Love and Money, Transits to Your Natal Venus, the Neptune Effect. Even though it's describing Neptune-Venus energies, it still will work for Neptune-Sun energies in terms of relationships. Okay, so you might want to check that out. It'll give you the feeling tone of how Neptune operates in a relationship. January 11th through January 20th birth dates, Sun in Capricorn at 20 degrees to 29 degrees. The magnificent Jupiter-Pluto conjunction will be affecting this group all of 2020. Please review my video on the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction for Capricorn and Capricorn rising. Transiting Saturn in Capricorn will be back to impact this group once again from July to December of 2020, ushering in a great deal of hard work and the potential for great fulfillment and also great rewards. Okay, this section is very different from section 1 that we just went through. Section 1 has to do with Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. The long-term energies, they last a minimum of 1 year and they have the greatest influence and the greatest impact on your life. This section has to do with the energies that impact you day to day, the kind of mood you're in for that day. Some of these energies are so subtle, if you're not looking for them, you're going to miss it altogether. But they will still impact the mood you're in. They explain why on some days you just can't get out of bed, or you fall out of the wrong side of the bed and the whole day is screwed up for some reason. And on other days you wake up very peaceful, pleasant, and very optimistic. These energies will last anywhere from a few hours on that particular day to half a day to sometimes the whole day, depending on the energy we're dealing with, the planet we're dealing with. Okay? They are valid, but they're not long-term. On May 3rd, Venus square Neptune between houses 6 and 3 is an aspect of deception resulting in confusion. The information you receive on the mental plane may be at odds with what your gut feelings are telling you about a situation. On another level, do not permit any news you receive to activate your inherent fears. Your imagination may be in overdrive. The planet Mercury conjuncts the Sun on May 4th in your 5th house, bringing good news from a loved one. May 7th brings the full moon, 6:46 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 17 degrees of Scorpio in opposition to the Sun at 17 degrees of Taurus, spanning houses 11 and 5, highlighting your friendships and group commitments versus your responsibilities toward loved ones. The planet Neptune at 20 degrees of Pisces is aspecting this full moon harmoniously by trine and sextile, along with Mercury and Taurus at 20 degrees making a conjunction and opposition. These are excellent energies under which to communicate, compromise, and iron out any conflicts between these life areas. On May 9th, under Mercury trine Pluto, and on May 10th, under Mercury trine Jupiter, between houses 5 and 1, socialize with loved ones, relax, and have a good time. The Sun in the 5th house sextile Neptune in the 3rd on May 10th is a sensitive, romantic vibration that favors communicating to a loved one how deeply you care. Also on May 10th, the planet Saturn turns retrograde at 1 degree of Aquarius. Mercury square Mars on May 10th or 11th, depending on your location, between houses 5 and 2 is a frictional energy. Care is needed in how you communicate with others. Avoid harshness. On May 11th, the planet Mercury enters Gemini and moves into your 6th house. On May 12th, Mars enters Pisces and moves into your 3rd house. Whoops. May 15th brings the Sun trine Pluto between houses 5 and 1, favoring recreational pursuits, exercise, and physical fitness regimens. On another level, use this energy to heal any tensions that may have recently developed between you and your loved ones. Sun trine Jupiter on May 17th, also between houses 5 and 1, is a cheerful, hopeful energy that favors having a good time with those you love. On May 20th, a retrograde Venus square Neptune between houses 6 and 3 could indicate receiving communication from an old love or work relationship from your past. It could open up buried feelings and emotions. Protect yourself and don't believe everything you hear. Also, on May 20th, the Sun enters Gemini and moves into your 6th house. May 22nd brings the new moon, 1:39 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 2 degrees of Gemini in the 6th house, favoring a fresh start with work concerns, health, diet, and exercise routines over the month ahead. May 22nd is action-packed with three aspects: Sun trine Saturn between houses 6 and 2, Mercury conjunct Venus in the 6th, and Mercury square Neptune between the 6th and 3rd houses. Strong 6th house energy is indicative of work and health concerns taking center stage. With Neptune involved, some confusion or deception is inevitable, either intentional or due to not having all the facts upon which to base a decision. Your best bet is to wait until you have greater clarity. Mars sextile Uranus on May 25th between houses 3 and 5 is a freedom aspect, meaning chances are you'll be in the mood to break out, break free, and get away from routine, routine duties and responsibilities. Recreational pursuits with loved ones is favored.